Now I'm feeling limitless. Why life's so serendipity. My cash is landed heftily. You're looking at the man, sheriff. I am not your deputy. Player Bill Bellamy. My tailor's in Beverly. I still stand steadily and standing on integrity. Standing on my 2 feet, flying with the crew. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Gone Global Records show. Right now, we have the lovely host, Love. This is my first interview. We set this up because it's only right to do this on the Gone Global Records podcast. So, Arasmus, this is my first interview. Let's get into it right now.
Everybody, it's your girl, Love, with an exclusive interview with one of my favorite artists from Chicago, up and coming, Arasmus, going global. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Listen, you really are one of my favorite artists. I've been listening for a while. I got a couple of questions I want to ask you today.
Okay.
For starting off, like a lot of people are on the outside looking in. I want you to tell everybody, from your perspective, what it was like growing up in Chicago.
Well, growing up in Chicago for me was it's pretty wild. Like, we had some real rough times, especially as youngins, as shorties, me and my brother. So, we grew up in I want to say a 2-bedroom spot. So my mother had a room and the rest of us had a room. I'm the youngest of 4. So my sister, there's 2 beds in there, 2 twin beds. And we shared those beds together, sleeping head, feet. So those humble beginnings, I really know about it. That's in the younger years. As far as like growing up as a teenager, things got a little wicked, man. Guys was in the streets.
A little wicked,
Real.
A little trouble growing up.
A little wicked, man.
Hard to stay out. All right, like I said, I've been listening since 2019. My favorite album was your latest release, Dreams Are Not Illusions.
Nice.
Do you have a favorite song or album out of everything that you've done? Because I noticed you have a big body of work.
Damn, that's a hard one, man.
One?
You can't ask no artist that love.
No,
the favorite
top 3. Can we get a top 3?
Top 3. So top 3, number 1 right now is Lost in Santorini.
Okay.
Just shot that video in L.A.
In L.A.? How was that?
Y'all gotta go check that out. That joint nice. So Lost in Santorini, definitely top 1. Then I would say Beachy. Beachy has always been a fan favorite. And Chris Angel off the Black Pyramids album.
Okay. I love Chris Angel. I listen to that as well.
Nice.
Okay. Listen, when did this become a passion for you? So has it been something that you've always been chasing, something that you picked up recently? Tell us when you started this thing.
Music became a passion for me at, I want to say, at the age of 10, maybe 12.
10, 12. So you started early.
Yeah, so I was a youngster. So my dad, he was an artist as well. He played the guitar. I remember him playing the acoustic guitar, and he had an electric guitar. So down the hill in the trails, he had this amplifier that he hooked up to his electric guitar. He used to piss all the neighbors off. Here's
playing
my
loud
dad.
Music.
Act like he's goddamn Jimi Hendrix or something.
Okay.
Just playing his blasting speaker. So he had a studio. My dad Herbert had a studio. And me and my brothers and sisters, we recorded music off of the old shit, like the tapes.
Okay.
He stuck a tape in there and it had 7 tracks. So Apollo learned how to do it and how to record. Like, he was like an engineer. And that's when I started getting into it and wrote my first rap with my friend Rich. And it was over from then. I just love it. Just a euphoric feeling.
It's really consistent is what I noticed. So one of the things I also like is how you switch up from rapping to ballads. Do you have a preference? Do you like to do a lot of hard rap, or do you like to slow it down?
No preference.
No preference?
Probably, if there was a preference, I would say it used to be more hard rap.
More hard rap?
I used to just like hardcore rap somebody's damn ears off. And I will say that this younger generation kind of opened me up to being a little bit more melodic and to expressing the art in a different way.
I think it's good. Everybody can't do both.
Everybody can't do both. But if you remember, 50 Cent came out clowning Ja Rule for singing.
And then he started singing.
Yes. And then now this new style of rap is melodic and people are singing. But at the end of the day, it's always been singing. All the artists, in hip hop, rap hasn't always had to be just so hardcore in one way. So the days are over and the days have changed. So yeah, it's different.
Yeah, you're definitely in your own box. What's your creative process? So do you write your lyrics down? Do you memorize? Do you freestyle? Tell me about how you get into the mode and get the stuff on paper.
Man, I usually don't let people in my process, man.
We gotta know. Just give us a little snippet.
Well, I do freestyle. I freestyle a lot. I'm a freestyle champion. For y'all that don't know, I'm a motherfucking freestyle champion. This is what I do, like real talk. I'm a freestyle champion. Like, I let it loose. So that's usually what I do. I go in the studio. If I feel real nice, I start freestyling. boop, 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 let them jokers loose. Then I go back and clean it up.
Okay, so you memorize from there. You don't do any writing.
Nah, I don't do no more writing no more.
Okay, that's
I don't,
kind of
I don't do
awesome,
no more
though.
writing no more. But what I will do is if I'm doing like a feature for somebody, especially, you know, if I'm getting paid, I'll make sure I polish that down. But I used to write, but what I learned is that the writing is slowing me down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these words are coming faster than I can write. And then by the time I write it out, I'm forgetting what I'm saying. So just let it all be said the first time and you're good.
I like that. If it was one artist that you could collaborate with, past or present, who would it be? I wanted to ask you right now, but past or present?
Man, past or present?
Past or present.
Yo, Lil Wayne.
Doesn't have to be Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne, man.
I think that's kind of a
Weezy,
great
that
choice.
dude, man. Lil Wayne's that dude, man. Even now, you know, he's transcended 3 eras.
Okay.
But then again, Kanye West, man. You know, me being from Chicago, Kanye has always been that guy. And you know what? At this point, I like to work with Fat Money.
Is Fat Money a Chicago artist?
Yeah, that's a back home artist type
Okay.
deal. So yeah, I like to keep it Windy City right there and do something like that. Yeah.
Speaking of Windy City Breeze is one of my favorite songs, in addition to a few others. When you're making these songs, are you coming from experience or are you just freestyling to get something good on paper?
Nah, definitely experience.
Okay.
Always
All right.
experience. All the music is experience. It's an expression of life. I will always say it's what you're doing right now, what you have done, or what you want to do.
Okay.
I will
I
always
love
say, you know, that's the guidelines of which I make my music. It's things I said on record that I went and did. Even traveling the world or some of the places before I traveled to them, I said I was going to do it. So now I got to do it type deal. And, you know, you kind of speaking things into existence. But a lot of that stuff is like real deal, what has happened. And that's why when I make the music, to be honest with you, what I'm trying to say here. When I make this music, sometimes I got to take months off before I create music because you got to live life.
Correct.
You got to live life in between it.
Have more experiences,
Yeah.
have things to write about, so it's not always constant.
Yeah, things that are piquing your interest and things that are really hitting that creative vibe. So yeah, sometimes I take a month off or two, but then it's like all in my head. I got to get to the
You
mic
gotta
and
get
let
it
it
out.
out. I got to let it out,
Okay.
yeah. Got to.
Listen, tell me about Erasmus, the man himself. When you're not rapping, where can we find you? What are you doing?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Yes.
That's a hard one. So
Not necessarily partying per se, but what do you do outside of this?
I am active duty military.
Really?
Yeah, I am active duty
Okay.
military. I've been moving around with those guys for a minute. You know, when you active duty, you move every 2 to 3 years. So it's kind of hard to say where you can find me because
Correct.
I'm always on the move. Then, hell, I got a place that I rent out. I don't even live there. I'm always on the road. Every weekend I'm going somewhere. You know, we was just in L.A., shot from New York to Boston, you know, from Virginia to Carolina, about to hit Atlanta and Savannah next weekend. So, like, I'm constantly on the move, man.
Literally going global.
Gone global, yeah,
Literally
gone
going
global.
global.
Let's go national. I ain't been out the
Going
country.
national.
I ain't been out the country since well, now I'm lying because I did just go over there to
I'm
Europe.
lying.
Yeah, I'm lying. I did just go to. I was in Germany about 2 months ago, but 2020 kind of, you know, that COVID stuff kind of messed things up, and I really ain't been global as much as I want to. So I feel like that the stuff's starting to reside now, and we're gonna get back to making moves and getting paid.
Okay. Let's pop back to that for a minute. When you were in Germany, what was that experience like, if you can talk about it? And when you were over there, did it stop your process? Were you doing any rapping over there, or were you all focused on that?
No. My whole time out there in Europe, I was definitely doing my thing. I had other duties and obligations that I had to fulfill. If you're talking about this last trip out there, and
Yes,
those are
this
some
last
things
one.
I won't speak on.
Okay.
But of course, on my downtime and when I had time to prepare, excuse me, I was always like writing. Yeah, really.
Listen, I want to know, how the fuck do you do both? Is it hard for you to go from Erasmus going global to the military man that's jumping out of planes, that's commanding everybody? Is it hard to make that transition? I would think so.
No, not at all.
Yeah?
I think it coincides with who I am, or maybe the duality of who I am. The jumping out of plane stuff. I'm glad you mentioned that because I don't think the
Saw a
audience
video
knows that.
of that, yeah.
Yeah, you seen it in the video. So I like skydiving. Skydiving is fun. I learned how to skydive in the military in Yuma, Arizona. And I think it's just an awesome experience. I think everybody should try it. You know, it's one thing to
I
be
don't think
tandem.
everybody should try it.
Why not? You want to try it?
No, I don't want to try it.
Why not?
No, I'm
Go
not
up
doing
there.
it. We'll leave that up to you.
Go up there. You can do it.
I could go up there and I'll watch you, but I'm not jumping out of the plane.
I think it's nice. I think it's nice, even to be in charge of troops and to do this military thing is a beautiful thing. But there's a side of me that's never left.
Right.
You know, I've been rapping before I joined the military. You know what I'm saying? I've been a person who's known music. I played the piano and I know music before the military. So, and I have a whole life in Chicago before I ever put on this uniform. So that's something I can't never forget, and I got to stay true to myself. So, but on the other hand, there's growth. We must grow. You know, there's things like discipline, things like core values, being a man in general. You know, these are things that I feel like this younger generation of rappers don't have. And that they need to actually stand on. Because when you got these young men, and I hate to say it, you got these cats YSL, these guys are indicted and going to jail. A lot of these young guys are going to jail. Hell, that don't make no sense to me. I didn't make the money I make right now to go to jail.
Right.
So don't let me become famously known as an artist with all the eyes on me, and I think that I'm still do something ignorant. Like, nah, it just don't work like that.
That's when you got to leave that side alone.
You leave that stuff alone, man. It's over, fellas. It's done.
I agree. So speaking about you being a jump master, literally free falling out of planes. Do you get nervous? Yeah, free balling out of planes.
Free balling.
Do you get nervous at all? I know you said you enjoy it and it's a beautiful experience, but are any nerves before you do it?
Like, on a command to stand up, that's when the nerve, if any nerves come, it usually comes then. But for me, as a jump master, and I know people going to kill me for saying this, the only nerves come from not wanting to mess up.
Okay.
You got to do this enormous calculation. You got to calculate from 1,000 feet to 4,000 feet. Then you got to calculate from 4,000 feet up to 12,000 feet or whatever altitude you're jumping at. You got to calculate that. And after that's calculated, you got to plot it on the map. And when you plot it on the map, when you get up there and you're flying, you have to see whatever you plotted on that map.
Like a pinpoint?
Yeah. Like you have a spot. Usually we call it the HARP. It's a high altitude release point.
I never knew this. Sorry.
All right. So you see this high altitude release point. You're supposed to see it from the bird. And it's just like getting it right. Now, when you get up and you get those guys command to go, and they jump out this damn sucker, you want to make sure that, hey, my math was right and everybody's going to get back to the drop zone.
So that's you're in charge of people's lives.
Yeah. That's the only nervous part about it. Like, did I jack up? And usually, you didn't jack up because you work with the Air Force and they use their computer. So everything usually jives up and it's like, okay, we're good to go. And just go out there, execute, and be confident in what you do.
But if your math is wrong, somebody is.
Yeah, somebody might not make that drop.
Somebody is done.
They landed somewhere they don't need to. That's bad.
Okay. Another thing, speaking about your level of consistency, this year in particular, I noticed that you drop a new song every single month, okay?
Right.
Which I think is really structured, and I haven't seen a lot of people doing that. But let's talk about the videos in particular, okay? I see a lot of videos that people are doing. They're nice, but I've seen some videos of you in Egypt, some other countries. I've seen you on camp. Tell me about that. You got some really dope stuff. Tell me in particular about Egypt.
Egypt was nice. That trip was crazy. And we did like some real dangerous stuff out there. We weren't supposed to be doing what we were supposed to be doing. So if you've never been to Egypt, they got a wall around the pyramids like Donald Trump. Donald Trump says he was trying to build a wall around
the Great Wall?
the southern, southern border. That's what they had in Egypt. It was this big, enormous wall, about probably 10, 20 feet, and it stretched out 100 miles long. I don't know how. And we couldn't get in there because our equipment, shout out to Sasha Lemon. Sasha Lemon, my boy, that was my first videographer I started messing with when I started Gone Global Records. And we ran Camelback out there. We ran Camelback all the way out there. You know,
I haven't seen that done. Nobody's riding camels.
Yeah, man. We was able to see some things and shoot our video. We was able to ride on the Nile River. You know, Egypt was cool. But one of the most funnest videos we shot overseas was probably AO. AO we shot in Italy. The Prague one was real big to us. Prague was fun, but the AO was the best. When we went to Italy and we did that, it wasn't nothing like that. That was
Okay, yeah.
You gotta go to Italy, love. Go to Italy.
I'll go there one day.
Go where we shot AO in Cinque Terre, Italy.
Okay,
yeah,
I'll do that.
That's the spot.
All right, and one of your songs, OTL, you mentioned Swayze. Can you tell me a little bit more about that, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so Swayze, he was one of my friends in the military. Swayze went to AIT with me, which is Advanced Individual Training. He was a rapper. So when we both got stationed at Fort Bragg, we were making music together. And we actually had like a project, I want to say about 7, 8 songs together. Swayze was a dope rapper, man. He was from the South. And me being a guy from the North, being from Chicago, around that time, I couldn't understand the South like that.
Right.
So he was a more swaggy type guy, and me, I was a more lyrical type guy. But I felt like he was a real talented dude, and we clicked up well, and we was, we made some good music, man. We had a good friendship with the man, and just a very bright individual, a good soul, and he ended up getting out the military, and he ended up committing suicide.
Yeah.
So, he was one of my friends committed suicide, and it was hard for me to see how a person like him could do that. Because this man was always smiling, man. This man was always alive. And sometimes we just don't know what people are going through or what they're going through inside. And I hear from a lot of men that get out this uniform that, go through mental issues because of this. So, yeah. Swayze, that was my dog, man.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to elaborate on. I know it's been a big issue recently. People are going through a lot of mental health things. I find that it seems like it's more difficult for men to approach that subject. Of, hey, maybe I need a therapist, maybe I need some help. Do you agree with that? Why don't you think men say, hey, I'm struggling here inside too, I need to talk to somebody?
I think as men, it is a pride thing. I think we're being too macho a lot.
Women, we get us a therapist quickly.
Yeah, therapy quick, and it's okay. But then another thing, black men, the black family, we haven't felt like it was a need for us to do things like that.
Right.
We felt like we could whoop our kids out of any mental
fix
issue
it on our own.
fix it by spanking, and that's not always so. And sometimes we don't have the education level or the background to actually heal that kind of trauma. So it shouldn't be like that. It's 2022, man. People should be a lot more open to seeing therapists and working on that mental health. Because my buddy, I'm telling you, didn't see it coming, man. That was a very live dude, man, from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Very live dude, man.
Yeah.
I would have never seen that coming.
I love that. I think it's really special that you mentioned him for that reason. So I just wanted to touch on that for a second.
No problem.
And also, listen, the fans want to know, is there a special lady in your life right now? It's okay. Don't spit out your ice.
Is there a special lady? Man, it's always a special lady, man. What kind of man go around the world don't have him a special lady? It's always a special lady, man. She around.
Hey, that's what type of answer? No, I love it.
I ain't gonna say who she is, but she around.
She's around.
She knows she is.
She's around. I like
you know who
ladies.
you is.
Ladies, there's a special lady. You know who you are.
And I'm trying to have some more babies. Hold on, and I'm trying to have some more babies.
More babies.
And I'm trying to have some more babies. You know who he is.
Since we just said babies, how many do you have?
I got 2.
You got 2? Sons, daughters?
2 little girls.
2 little girls?
Big girls.
Big girls. Ages? Can you tell us?
Teens.
Hell
yeah.
Really? I wouldn't have thought.
Huh?
How is it being a girl dad?
Getting back everything I deserve, I guess.
Getting back everything you deserve?
Yeah.
It's punishment?
Punishment. Real
Some of the things you did
real
in your
punishment.
20s.
For real.
Okay.
That's how I look at it.
All right. Listen, just a random question because we're in Richmond and me having lived here pretty much all my life. Why do you think Richmond kind of doesn't always support its own people? And maybe it's a personal thought, but I don't feel like we support our local artists.
I think that in any city, especially even growing up in Chicago, that a lot of people, they don't want to see you go to the top. When they know you, it's like, yeah, I know that guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or I know that girl. How can she make it there? But they don't want to put the work that you're putting in, but they don't want you to make it. And they're not going to put the work in. So it's a crab in the barrel mentality. Down south, people really help each other out more. People put local artists on and give people that tick and that time. But I don't think that Richmond is like that. I think it's a lot of love in Richmond. Or maybe you're right. Maybe I'm an outsider coming to Richmond.
Yeah, that's my perspective.
And I got a lot more love because I was from Chicago and I was from a different place. So folks didn't grow up with me or didn't feel some kind of way towards me or something like that. But no, I think Richmond is dope. Then I think a lot of the guys, they got a lot of beef and problems going on. We living in a real deal beef kind of
Very
era.
real right now.
And that drill music they created in the Chi, everybody's following that. A lot of artists I work with in Richmond, these dudes talking about smoking on this guy, smoking on that guy.
Yeah,
and
I've
they
heard
serious.
a lot of that, right?
And they serious
They're
too.
very serious.
Yeah.
They're very serious, but it's a
ain't
pattern.
joking. I got an artist I was about to sign the Mosby Projects. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say his name, man, until we do that paperwork and we get that exposure. But yeah, them guys out there living that thing for real, for real, for real.
How deep can we go with it? Why do you think that maybe, I'm not even going to say in particular from Chicago, but why do you think men think that they can record this shit publicly, and say, I'm smoking on this, I'm smoking on that, this is who I'm going to get next, and not expect any repercussions from that? Or I feel like they're maybe, above being killed or what may it be?
So what it really comes down to is this. Back in the day, and I ain't trying to call Wayne, Weezy, don't hurt me, Wayne. When Lil Wayne would say, goddamn, he shot this guy and killed this guy, I didn't take him seriously.
Right.
And maybe I thought that maybe my favorite rapper did this way, way back in the day. That's not something he did today or yesterday, right? And it was cool. Now, when Wayne said he get up there, he's a pussy monster, eat a bunch of pussy, I believe that. He probably did that last night.
Exactly.
But you don't have to live that life, but these youngsters got to live it now. Honestly, for the A&Rs to sign them, for people to rock with you, you got to be living that life now. And that's why, hey, this whole Gone Global record thing, I started my own thing. I'm doing my own goddamn thing. I ain't got to sign with nobody. I'm making 100% of the cash anyway.
Exactly.
It's a lot better than being, hey, these residuals I'm making is going to take care of my children's children. So these guys are trying so hard to live what they speak about, and that's where the game is backwards is now. And they shouldn't do that. They feel bold enough to do that. And look, these cats are going to jail.
Yeah, they're going to jail or they're going down and getting killed.
Now, what kind of fool, you see one person do it, two people do it, three people do it, and you following the same footsteps. I'm from Chicago, man. May a lot of these guys rest in peace. But some of these cats, I was just at the King Von mural. I'm back home. I went to my niece's graduation. I seen my man King Louis. Shout out to King Louis there. He was at the graduation too. And I go by the King Von mural just to take some pictures. As I'm leaving there, I look on my phone, one of the guys died. FBG Cash died. And I'm like, damn, these guys in my city, they out there, they're living something that's totally so different and insane, and it's being publicized to the rest of the world, and the rest of the world is eating it up. But these are real deal families, man. These people got brothers and sisters, mothers, and like that's crazy. And me as an artist, I don't want to be involved in that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I love go back home to my city. Exactly. I love seeing my kids. I love seeing my family. Folks don't want those kind of problems. And when you perpetuate that and speak that into existence and speak that on record, the police going to be after you and the streets going to be after you.
Agreed.
So
always.
So which one you want?
Exactly.
Yeah, for real, for real.
Okay, so what are your plans going forward for 2023?
So that's a good question. 2023, we are dropping another project. I really haven't figured out the name for it yet. But I shot all these videos. We went out to LA. We just shot this joint for Lost in Santorini. That was a real good shoot, man. Shout out to Kamor. Shout out to Tiara. Shout out to Jackie. Shout out to my man Jungle TV. My brother Adonis. That was a real, real good time.
Real good time.
And we shot that video. We shot 2 videos out there. Shout out Spencer Cease as well. So we're dropping the project. I have got a lot of artists on it. Mike Davis is featuring on it. Obi-Wan is featuring on it from Chicago. I'm trying to see who else we got on that joint. Who else we got on that joint? Other than that, yeah, it might be just kind of open. I got some singers on there, man. I ain't messing with no rappers, man.
No rappers?
I ain't messing with no rappers, man, for real.
I like the ballads. The
ballads are a lot better.
The singers and the rapping, it's a good mix.
Yeah. But I ain't messing with no rappers. I ain't with the dick riding shit. No, none of that. And honestly, cats be trying to ask me for features. I'm not even doing that.
Not doing features.
I'm just doing my own thing, man. So 2023, that's the thing. We're gonna drop this project. I'm working with my man Tony, One Shot Photos. We're doing a documentary that we're gonna be dropping to kind of show it all.
Okay.
And it's a lot coming. I'm pretty excited about it.
Like I said, I've been doing a lot of listening. Some of my favorite songs, which I literally listen. We got Windy City Breeze. We got NYA. We got Chi-Town Anthem. We got Miracles. It's a Babe. We got OTL. Really listening here. Where can everybody find you on social media platforms? Where can we listen?
Oh, that's nice. So on the IG, you got to go to at Arasmus Gone Global.
Okay.
All right. You want to find me on Spotify, just put in my name, Arasmus. Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube Music, or YouTube, my name, Arasmus. Arasmus, Arasmus. That's where you can find it.
All right, y'all. Well, this is all the questions that I had for you. It's been really awesome getting to know you and asking you these questions. You know, kind
Awesome.
of getting an inside view of what you do.
Awesome.
We see everybody. You can find them at Erasmus Going Global on Instagram, Spotify,
Yeah.
Facebook, YouTube.
Going
The
global.
music is dope. I encourage everybody to go listen. This has been an exclusive interview
Mm-hmm.
with Erasmus Going Global.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I
It's
definitely
nice
appreciate
having
it.
you.
Thank
It
you.
really was.
First on global one. Nice.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
To
Jeff.
many more.
Now I'm feeling limitless. Why life's so serendipity. My cash is landed heftily. You're looking at the man, sheriff. I am not your deputy. Player Bill Bellamy. My tailor's in Beverly. I still stand steadily and standing on integrity. Standing on my 2 feet. Flying with the crew chiefs. They don't want grenade smoke. They know who the truth.